Naomi's name change. Among the figures in the Old Testament, there is a woman named Naomi. Naomi is found in the book of Ruth, where she becomes Ruth's mother-in-law. Naomi's family included her husband, Elimelech, and their two sons, Mahlon and Chilion. They lived in the land of Israel, but when a famine struck, they left the land God had given them and moved to Moab. There, her sons married Moabite women, and one of these daughters-in-law was Ruth, the protagonist of the book of Ruth. Ruth eventually married Boaz and gained the honor of becoming an ancestor of Christ. While Ruth's story is well known, today I want to focus on Naomi. The Bible contains many characters whose names have significant spiritual meanings. For instance, Achan's name means trouble, and he indeed became a trouble for the Israelites. Jacob's name means to struggle, and he led a life of frequent conflicts, contending with his brother, his uncle, and even over wells with foreigners. Moses' name means to draw out, and he was drawn out of the water into Pharaoh's household, and later used by God to lead the Israelites out of Egypt. The protagonist of today's story, Naomi, means our joy. Despite having a name that means joy, she left God's promised land due to the physical hardship of famine. From that point on, her joy began to fade. While she was in Israel, she did not experience significant emotional pain or sorrow. However, after moving to a foreign land, she lost her husband and her sons. Eventually, she returned to Israel with only one daughter-in-law, Ruth. Upon her return, she told the people to call her Mara instead of Naomi. When Naomi asked to be called Mara, meaning bitter, instead of her given name, which means joy, it revealed the depth of her pain and suffering. She lamented that she left full but returned empty. Even during the famine, as long as she remained in the land, she still had her husband and children. This regret is a common lament among Christians who try to balance between two worlds. Many Christians live with divided loyalties. They are not fully committed to God and feel uneasy when they are in the world, thinking they should return to church. Conversely, when they are in church, they worry about the world and turn their attention back to it. This state of divided loyalty causes them to realize, only after losing their faith, that it was better to be with God, even if it meant enduring some material hardships or less favorable circumstances. We need to reflect on our spiritual condition to see if we are in a state of Naomi or Mara. If we find ourselves in a situation similar to Naomi, even if we are lacking in some areas, we should give thanks to God and not turn our eyes towards the world. However, if we find ourselves in a state like Mara, we need to start living with our focus on God. Ideally, it would be best to maintain our faith without losing anything. But if we must lose something to regain our faith, it is far better to lose possessions and gain faith than to keep possessions and lose faith. Therefore, the crucial question is what we are willing to lose and what we are willing to give up for our faith. What will you sacrifice for the sake of your faith?
구독, 좋아요, 알림 설정 해주세요. Subscribe, like, set notifications.